are the developers behind Grey Goo?
Yes.
Westwood Studios, I suppose?
Formerly Westwood Studios, now Petroglyph.
Okay, nice. So, do you have release dates for Grey Goo, or is it until you know?
Early 2015. It's on Steam.
Okay, nice. On Steam? Yeah.
Yes.
Do you know the price?
I don't. Do you know the price tag?
We don't have a price set up yet, but it's going to be the same price as a traditionally boxed product. So it's not free to play.
Yeah.
It is a full game with 15 missions in the campaign and multiplayer.
AI skirmish,
And
multiplayer,
AI, yeah.
LAN mode. You can have a LAN party. So yeah, it's a complete game.
Okay, nice. Nice to hear. So, when I'm looking for an RTS game, why should I look at your game? What's special about it?
I'll start. Well, first off, what we love about it is we've gone back to the roots of retro RTS.
Okay.
What we love about our old school RTSs that we love like in the 90s. So we've gone back to that core fun gameplay with the balance of like base building, economy, and combat.
Yeah.
So what we've done is with Grey Goo is it's got a very cool, compelling story with very top-notch, high-grade cinematic cutscenes for the story campaign. The game has 3 very unique playable factions. We have the humans, the betas, and then the Grey Goo. And all 3 factions completely play very differently, where the humans are kind of a jack of all trades. They have equally offensive and defensive. The humans are a turtling faction, where they're all about building massive bases and walls and basically building a fortress. And then we have the Grey Goo, which is unlike any kind of faction that we've ever done before. It is the weirdest faction because it's all based on nanotechnology and it's Grey Goo. So you have these globs and giant amoeba-like pools of goo that traverse the map. They can climb over any terrain, and they gather resources. And not only do they eat resources, they eat enemy units, they eat enemy structures. So when you have goo go in your base, it's a very bad thing. Now, at any time on the fly, you can convert goo into combat units. Once it converts into combat units, they're more hard shelled, so they become committed, and they are those units. And so you can't convert them back. And so the goo is a very, very, very dynamic faction. You don't build a base. It's always mobile. It's always traveling around. It's always consuming. And I don't know if you guys want to add to that.
Yes, go ahead.
I was going to say the beta faction also is a faction where, as you explore the rest of the map, you can build these hubs or these smaller little bases that you can configure and spread your base across the map. So whereas the humans are going to stay traditionally in one place, they're going to build a giant base but stay in one spot. Betas can branch out with these hubs, and then of course the goo is mobile, so it's going to move everywhere that it wants to. It can traverse terrain, move over mountains, move over structures, consume enemies, consume structures. That's really the special thing that's really neat about this game.
Yeah, and then we've also added a really cool reactive AI system where a lot of RTSs, including ours of the past, were very scripted AI. So they had scripted build orders, scripted base building, like preset templates of things and how they behave. Our AI actually doesn't cheat. It doesn't look through the fog of war. It actually reacts on what its units see you building and what your units are doing. So the AI, if it sees, like you're building a bunch of aircraft back at your base, he's going to start building anti-aircraft. And so the AI reacts accordingly. And if you change your strategies, the AI will change its strategies. It doesn't learn, but it adapts. So it's always based on the situation. So we think that also that AI is very cool. On top of everything else, it is like a very modern day RTS in terms of technology. I know we call it a retro RTS, but it's full DirectX 11 shaders, full internet play, Steam integration, Steam Workshop integration. And LAN party mode. Yeah, LAN mode. So you can play LAN. So it's got all that nice, it's got all the nice modern day bells and whistles, but it has that core fun. Did you have any?
Well, I was going to add that we've partnered with some really excellent companies to make this game, and it is really AAA quality. So a lot of people don't understand or realize that we've partnered with Weta Workshop, who did Lord of the Rings games or movies, and so they've done a lot of the concept work.
District 9.
And then we took that concept work, we brought it in house. We built a lot of the terrain features, the environment, the plant life and the units and things. So the game is a very rich, very beautiful game. In addition to that, we've partnered with Axis Animation, so they're doing all the cutscene work, and it is truly phenomenal work. It is very, very AAA quality stuff. And then, of course, Petroglyph, who has a long history of great RTSs.
Almost 30 years.
Yeah, with
Doom 2, Command and Conquer,
Exactly.
all the way up.
Star Wars
we
Empire
have-
at War.
Yeah, so we have a huge amount of
Universal War.
experience inside of Petroglyph making RTSs. We have also people from Relic and Ensemble working with us as well. So, you know, it's a huge amount of experience. And then, of course, our publisher, Greybox,
Yeah.
is excellent to work with, and they have stressed that this game be very, very high quality when it comes out.
They are
So
gamers.
that's
They
our
are gamers. This is their first game. They are gamers, and it's all about the games to them. And then I just want to also just finish Frank Klepacki's music score, the orchestra, and all your
Oh, yeah.
soundtrack.
Yeah.
So yeah, the game's going to have basically 3 different soundtracks within it. You know, for each faction, they'll have their own feel, their own sound. And so, like for example, you know, to illustrate the different styles, the Beta faction, you know, has a, when you look at them, their aesthetic look is very like heavily armored and, you know, steam and smoke and fire coming out of all of their vehicles. So I came up with an industrial soundtrack for them with, you know, distorted synths and some heavy brass and metallic percussion. The human faction being very high tech and very clean looking and hovering everywhere. I came up with just a modern day electronica kind of a soundtrack for them. And then of course there's the Goo, which to me was very mysterious, very eerie in the way that they move and play. So I came up with dark orchestral and choral music for them mixed with dubstep.
Okay.
And then on top of that, it's all full orchestral recording as well.
Okay. So my next question will be, will you add some new races later, or is it like the final game?
Oh no, there's a lot more to come with
Yeah, there's more coming. So, you know, we can't talk about it right now, but we have a lot of support planned for this game long into the future.
Yeah, there are things in the works right now.
Okay, nice. Nice to hear. So I suppose you will do campaigns for it, or will it be only multiplayer?
No, there's a story campaign with 15 missions that let you experience and learn the story of the races, and you get to play all the factions. There's also AI skirmish mode, so that you can co-op with your friends and play just against the AIs. You can play, you know, competitively or cooperatively against other players over the internet, as well as land notes.
Okay, nice. So now, how many maps would you include in the multiplayer?
We're going to include 10 maps in the multiplayer, but the really nice thing about that too is that we're including a map editor that people will be able to create their own maps, and then they can share those maps on Steam with other people. So
Yeah.
we expect there to be many, many maps available for multiplayer.
In our past games, we've had a lot of mod support, and you know, we love the modding community, and they do incredible things we'd never even dream of with our stuff. And so we've already had meetings with some of our modder community today and telling them about the technology, and they're familiar with our technologies, our pipelines, our tools, how we format our data. And so they were coming in and checking out with us, asking us questions of, oh, are you still doing this? Are you doing that? Is this going to be available? So on top of that, we should have some really incredible mod support from the mod community.
So nice to hear. Yeah, my next question will be, for a multiplayer game, balancing is extremely important.
Oh, yeah.
So are you working on balancing?
Yeah.
We have been working on balancing for about 16 months now. The game has been fully playable for about that long, and we have been focused on balance from as early as possible. So the very first thing we did was we had multiplayer up and running, and then we worked on balance.
We had
and
placeholder art first.
Yeah, we had boxes and squares on gray maps, but we were able to balance the units, and we've been balancing every day for the last 16 months. So when this game comes out, it's going to be extremely well balanced.
Yeah, so it lets the artists and the audio team, they've been kind of catching up to programming, you know, so we just get the game working and get the data put in, and then,
Fill in
you
the
know,
blanks, yeah.
yeah, and then it's very extensible for the designers, so it's easy for them to modify the game while they're playing.
Okay, so yeah, that's nice to hear that there won't be something like only good players because of this release. So it's
Yeah.
very nice to hear.
And beta, I mean, we're going to be taking so much feedback in the beta. You know, when we do closed beta and open beta.
Yeah,
we're still, of course, going to be balancing the game. And I'm sure even post-launch, as the game gets out there, well, I'm sure there'll be patches that we even do more balance fixes. You know what I mean? Because it's an RTS.
Yeah.
And because there's 3 different factions, they all play different. And then each faction has 5 technologies, and of those 5 technologies, you can customize each of those 5 technologies to your playstyle. And it's not just some stat upgrade, it's like major functionality change. So 3 beta players could be playing, and they could all do their technology upgrades differently, and those play differently. So that's even more stuff that we have to factor into that.
Okay. And yeah, how many people or how many players will be able to play in one game, so in one match?
Currently we support 4 players.
4 players? Are you planning to do more, or it's will stay at 4 players?
We will see what the community would like to do with that. We thought about it quite a bit when we were deciding what to do with how many players could get into a match, and we decided that 4 players was exactly what the community was looking for. If you look at other games out there that support more, there are very, very few people actually play in those modes. So it's more of a something to put on the outside of the box, but not something that people play very often.
And our technology is built on all of our technology in the past on Glyphix engine, and so the game currently right now runs full client server. That most RTSs in the past were all peer-to-peer. And this is a full client server game. So people can when they host matches, they're the server. So we can easily support way more than 4 players. It's just that choice of what is fun.
Yeah, what's right for the game.
But the tech will support it.
Okay, so nice to hear. So I want to thank you for this interview.
Thank you.
So I will be playing this game. I hope the best for you.
Thank you
Thank you
very
very
much, you
much.
guys.
So much. Appreciate it.
Okay, thank you.